Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it's been long and you read the title right. I'm going to talk about my top 5 books I read in 2024, not 2025. We are only 10 months behind. I think that is not bad. Depends on who we are comparing to. I'm comparing myself to Pete and he is like 2 3 years behind. So I mean, anyway, you all know that I was in slump almost entire last year. I struggled with it. I think I read around 17 books, 18. I'm not even sure actually. My Goodreads is saying I read 16 books, but I think I did not log in a couple of books. So that is way less than what I usually read. Usually I log in around 60 books, but I failed completely in my last year's goal. Anyway, it did not make sense to talk about top 10 out of 17 I read, 17 or 18. And I don't think I even liked 10 books last year. That bad my reading was, but I did definitely liked 5 books, and I thought about it whether to make this video or not this late, but I still like those books and I still want to talk about those books. So here we go. Surprisingly, there is only one fantasy in this list. Usually my go-to genre is fantasy and these kind of lists are filled with fantasy books, but there is only one this time. Maybe that's the problem. Interesting to think about. Anyway, at number 5, I have I Claudius by Robert Graves. This is the perfect continuation to read after reading Cicero trilogy. You all know how much I loved Cicero trilogy. That actually made me interested in Roman history, wanted to read more of Roman history. So the events in this book pick up exactly after the events of Cicero trilogy, because at the end of Cicero trilogy, Republic ended and the Roman Empire started, and this talks about the initial Roman Empire days actually. Though the title is named as I Claudius, this actually talks about the events happened before his reign. Talks about first 3 emperors like Augustus, Tiberius and Caligula, and in what circumstances Claudius became emperor. Initially, it was little difficult for me to get into this because I loved Robert Harris writing in Cicero trilogy, and Robert Graves' writing is little dry. I think around 25%, 30% in because of the amount of information he has given about these characters. I was totally into it. Most of the book was focused on Livia, who was Augustus' wife. She wanted her son Tiberius to become emperor after Augustus, so she kind of conspired to kill Augustus' heirs. We can clearly see where George R. R. Martin took inspiration for Cersei actually. Livia was terrifying. Probably my favorite antagonist at this point. I hated her while reading this book, but now I can see how smart she was, how calculating she was. I kind of have weird respect for her now. That is actually scary. I need help. Anyway, Robert Graves was very detailed. He made me invested in these characters. I think maybe I should say historical figures. They all died like 2000 years back and I cried for them. I think Germanicus is probably my favorite character out of everything I read last year. I highly recommend it if you're invested in Roman history or any history actually. I wouldn't recommend its sequel Claudius the God, but this is definitely good. Things did not change even after a year. Every time I sit down to film, I don't know why there is some ambulance or police car goes by. Anyways, 4th best book I read last year was The Forest of Enchantments by Chitra Banerjee Divakaruni. This book is very personal to me. This is a retelling of Hindu epic Ramayana from Sita's POV. If you're not familiar, Ramayana is a story of Ram and Sita. Ram is one of the popular gods in Hinduism. I mean, very popular. Like you will see Ram's temples in every village, every small corner actually. This is actually one of the first stories we were taught. So it was deeply personal. The story is actually simple. Ram and Sita are husband and wife and they love each other very much. But Sita gets kidnapped by a demon king. So the rest of the story was about Ram's journey to save Sita from this demon king, Ravana. I know this happened like long time back in history, 5000 BC, 10,000 BC. But still, I don't want to give away all details if you want to read it. The circumstances force him to choose between his love for his wife and duty to his people. and he chooses duty. That's the heartbreaking part. So usually the stories are from like third person point of view. Sita is kidnapped and Ram's was the journey, so the story focuses on his journey, the people he meets, and the problems he had to face to save Sita. Even after everything they had gone through, at the end Ram had chosen duty over her. That was very heartbreaking for me. Even as a kid, when I first learned the story at the age of 5 or 6, I did not like it. I always asked my mom, my grandparents, everyone. And so this book tells the story from Sita's point of view, her feelings, what she thought when she was kidnapped, and how she endured it, and what she thought after she was rescued. So if you're not familiar with the story, this book might make you angry with Ram, and it did make my friends angry with him. And I think Sal asked me, Anita, why do you love this book? This kind of showed Ram in a bad picture, which actually is right. Other versions of Ramayana or other tellings of Ramayana, we actually see Ram's journey and the problems, troubles he faced to rescue Sita. And also after rescuing, when he gave her up, we actually see the pain he goes through. Actually, in some versions, actually he's completely depressed, he doesn't care about his kingdom anymore, he was completely in grief. In this one we don't see any of that, so it kind of very straightforward from his point of view. We see only Sita's pain and her questions, asking why the injustice happened to her. I do agree with Sal, but in my entire life I was questioning this injustice. I never got satisfying answer. I do understand this incarnation, actually Ram's incarnation of God, is to teach people about duty, about king's duty, that he can't be selfish. His first priority should be taking care of people, but that never satisfied me. So in this book, actually Sita asked those questions. She felt that anger, we see that angry, so I kind of felt validated, like it's okay to be angry, it's okay to question. This was very deeply personal to me. Anyway, I was rambling from past, I don't know, 10 minutes. I need to edit a lot of this out. Anyway, fun fact, if you are interested in like trivial facts about history, the demon king, actually he was king of Lanka, that is allegedly Sri Lanka now. So the lowest point from India and Sri Lanka, that time actually it was like long before, there were no bridges, so Ram's army makes a bridge with stones. We actually can see that. I mean, it is completely submerged now, obviously. We call it like Ram Setu. Setu means bridge, but people renamed it as Adam's Bridge, so you can Google it. There are so many theories, like some people, I mean, people who believe this, believe the religion and history says that this is that bridge, and people who don't believe, they theorize that this is a naturally formed bridge. But anyway, there are so many theories about that if you want to look at it. And the third book in my list is Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern. This is the biggest surprise for me last year. I did not expect to love this much. I think I read this at the right time. All other books I was reading at the time was like getting 2 stars, but this took me by surprise. It felt like a love letter to books and stories. There are many stories within the story. I mean, there is the main storyline, which follows a university student. He finds one day in his library, in one of the books, an incident happened to him personally in his childhood. Obviously it's kind of creepy, and he wants to find out more about that, so he starts researching. From there the adventure starts. He goes through many doors. Along with him, we also go through many doors. It's all about keys and doors, and he finds another book along the way, and there is another story. It was fun reading that. Actually, I don't remember any details. I only remember how I felt about it. Actually, when I finished it, it was kind of an open end, so I wanted to make a video about all theories and my conclusions. but I don't remember enough to make that video. Now I have to reread. I think I do want to reread because I am curious to see if I would like this much actually second time. Also, I highly recommend audiobook for this one. I think this is one of my favorite audiobooks. I think main storyline has a different narrator, and then each story has different narrators, and all of them are good. The audiobook performance was just brilliant. I think that is definitely one of the factors why I like this book so much. We have like top two books left, and both are sci-fi and both have kind of similar concept. Maybe not exactly similar. The setup was similar. Let's see. At number two, I have Mercy of Gods by James S. A. Corey. This is my first book by James S. A. Corey. I did not read Expanse, but I love Daniel Abraham. He's my favorite author. I was little very worried how it would work for me because I love Daniel Abraham, but he's writing this with another author, but it did not disappoint. I loved it. It was a slow burn. There was a lot of setup, but I don't mind slow burns. Actually, this past year I learned that I do like slow burn books, and I do like a lot of world building. This is actually set in a different planet. We don't get any information about what happened to Earth, or if we got, I don't remember. So humans are living on different planet actually. So there is this alien planet, or basically like aliens, crab-like people, or like moving from planet to planet, attacking them and taking the people as slaves. We actually follow one scientific team, which team is making great progress in our human world. I understand why not many people liked it. These are not like heroic people who fights, I don't know, or leaders. These are actually nerds and mostly introverts who wants to do their work, and they have gone through a traumatic experience. Now we have to see, not only they are dull, now they have this PTSD as well. So it wasn't exactly an action packed book, but it actually explores the human emotions and the choices they had to make in tough situations. It's kind of bleak and slow, but I did not care actually. Daniel Abraham, maybe I should say James S. A. Corey, was actually very good in exploring that human emotions in difficult situations. I really liked it. And at number one, I have Shards of Earth by Adrian Tchaikovsky. This is book one in Final Architecture. I actually thought about which book to be put at number one and number two. Finally, this book won only because I finished the entire trilogy last year. So reading the entire story elevated this series for me. That's the only reason this is at number one place. Otherwise, I liked both Mercy of Gods and Shards of Earth. Shards of Earth also, actually, Earth is no more. It was completely destroyed, and humans are scattered among different planets, but we do get information why Earth was destroyed or who destroyed it. And there are many other aliens. That is Tchaikovsky's obvious strength. Along with humans, we also get a lot of alien races. We actually mainly follow this spaceship's team, and it has other aliens also, so we get many perspectives, not just humans. That is actually fun. The tone of both the books are different. Mercy of Gods was bleaker, and there are like bad things happen in this book too, but this is more fun actually following these characters. And in Tchaikovsky's books, I usually like world building more, but in this one I liked characters more. Probably my favorite found family trope. I had a difficult time choosing which character was my favorite in first two books actually. I mean, by the end of the trilogy I had a favorite, but in the first two books I definitely struggled. Every character has agency, every character has their own place. That was my favorite part, maybe one of my favorites. And Tchaikovsky is damn good in writing non-human characters, alien characters. I recommend both of these books. Both have different tones. One explores human emotions and human choices, and the other explores actually the world more and how they all work together or not work together in the face of a bigger problem. So you can pick based on your own taste. So that's it. That's the 5 best books I read in 2024. 2025 is going definitely better. I am reading more. I'm reading amazing books, and I hope to talk about them soon. I hope to continue filming actually. See you soon. Bye.